Following program is sponsored by Tropical Acres Steakhouse.
Hold the Mayo. It's time for Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Find out what's being served with Mike, Defo, and Lubie, the only show that covers food, sports, and the proper maintenance of your car. And now, a man who had the distinction of having an entire health clinic named in his honor, Mike Mayo.
I want the frim sauce with the awesome fave, with shafafa on the side.
Monday, everybody, and welcome to Slurpee fans, Cherry fans, and Mojito fans. That's right. All three of those things are being celebrated today by the Ministry of Silly Food Holidays. Welcome to another week and another edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. All over the place. We're like dog do. We're everywhere. We're on the Facebook. We're on the YouTube. We're on Golden Oldies, actually oldiesouthflorida.com at night, and a million different FM stations up and down the Florida coastline. I am Mike Mayo. I am very happy to welcome back to the Lunchbox one at Jeff Defo DeForest. Are you freshened and ready and just raring to go, Defo, after your holiday/birthday celebration holiday?
That was a long time off. It was great, but I've always said this. I've never worked a day in my life. I mean, you can't possibly call this real work. So it's good to be back, and I had a very, very pleasant time there. The few days I was in Atlantic City, and the rest of the trip and vacation was good as well. July 4th, all of that worked out extremely to my advantage. And yet I could have just stayed home and bet your little $3 wager yesterday on that race at Belmont. How you had, I mean, I know you went to a pig roast, but how you roasted that pig that finished third in the Belmont race and put it into your trifecta equation was amazing. And I would have made a lot more money just betting $3 with you, Mike Mayo.
Yeah, it was one of those odd, well, I wish I could claim some great handicapping prowess, and I was having a really rough weekend at the poker tables. And you know how it goes, Defo. You just can't.
I saw you were
give up.
eating in frustration after getting knocked out like in the first minute of the poker tournament at the Hard Rock. Yeah.
There was a lot of good eats this weekend. So, the weekend was a little bit rough on the poker front, and then great on the food front, and then things turned around. And that's the whole thing about the whole gambling thing is you got to just keep going, right? Because nobody likes a quitter. And it's like Jimmy V says that you also don't give up, don't ever give up. And
until your bankroll runs out. That's usually when you're faced with a problem.
Yeah, no, and this was one of those things where I actually ground out some wins late Saturday, and I had some money going into the last day of racing at Belmont Park, and it's been a rough meet for me there. And Saratoga, as we all know, starts on Thursday, and all the horse players in the world are just frothing at the mouth, including Joey Esposito. And I was over at Cafe Seville on Friday night, and I've got some Joey stories. But the bottom line is, I just wanted the last race of the day. I always listen to the voice in my head, and I hear my late friend Roy Slanoff. I don't know if you remember Roy.
I do remember Roy. Nice guy.
Yeah, he used to work in the press department at various racetracks, including Gulfstream Park. He had a nice little office there right at back in the day when they had the full bar going and that whole overhang. And
is he no longer with us, Roy Slanoff?
Roy, unfortunately, he passed a long time ago.
Wow.
He had cancer at a relatively young age, but I'll never forget. He was one of us. He loved playing the horses, and he also had that, I don't want to call it pessimistic attitude, but it was a realistic attitude. And he had a little sign on his door that always said, "Tomorrow the world may end, and or you could die."
It sounds very much like a philosophy that you've adapted and adopted late in life here.
Well, it's
although you're much happier than you let on, Mike Mayo. That's a funny thing. You're actually a happy guy.
I play the irascible sort on radio, and I heard you give your tribute to Hank on their morning show, and we're going to get into a little bit of Hank memories later today because you were obviously absent last week, and we had Kaiten on the show, and she was able to give a little tribute because she knew Hank well from the days when she was the publicity director at Calder Racecourse, and those were fun days hanging out at the press box up there in Calder in the summertime. Yeah, so
I guess it's less painful when it's sort of you can see it coming, and we knew that Hank had been battling with his kidney ailment for a long time, was in need of a transplant, and was, I believe, too old to get the transplant. where they don't provide the organ for people that are like 80 plus. They would much rather find a match with somebody that's going to be able to take better advantage of it. And my theory, and it sounds cold, but this is true. Once they start taking body parts off, that's not a good sign. And he had his leg amputated, so it was a little less of a shock. But it's funny because I was going to give him a call, Mike. I was doing my walk of life the day before on July 4th, and I thought, wow, I should call Hank on his birthday, which was July 4th. And before I had a chance to pick up the phone, somebody sent me the news that he had passed away.
Yeah, no, and I'm trying to multitask here very
That was good, man. That's a strong reaction to my comment. What?
Yeah, I wasn't. Go ahead, I'm not listening.
We knew he was going to die. Yeah, exactly. All right, way to go, Mike.
He was gonna die.
No, it does soften the blow. Not really.
But I mean, it wasn't like it was a total shock that he passed away. It was just,
but it still hit me
sad.
hard.
Yeah.
I forgot who somebody sent me the. One of my friends sent me the original link to the Las Vegas obituary. The Las Vegas.
Was that you that sent that to me? Because somebody sent me it.
Yeah.
Nice.
You know
Thank you
me.
for
I'm
that.
always the bearer of.
No, you
news.
are, but you're on top of the news, which is good.
Yeah. So, but the bottom line is, it was still, I was in the middle of at a 4th of July celebration, that pig roast at Dr. Tranicus's house, and we're having a good old time. And then you never like to get news like that, and it just kind of, it made me reflect. It just seems like, it's so obviously cliched and trite to say, oh, time flies, but those glory days back in the middle 90s were just something to behold. And obviously you went back even further into the early 80s,
1981. I met Hank when I first came to town.
Well, now I'm all over the place. I feel like you do, Defo. The getting back to Roy Slanoff before we get this is again, we're on the Oldies South Florida Network, so we're talking about a lot of dead people today. So Roy Slanoff,
it's a Day of the Dead here on the show.
And we are going to get into more lively life affirming topics, like it is National 7-Eleven Day, because today is the luckiest day on the calendar for gamblers and also for 7-Eleven fans. They give out free Slurpees today.
Is that right?
Oh, Slurpees.
Wow. Did you get one?
No, not yet. I'm going to take my daughter later after the show.
Cool. Nice.
It's also National Rainier Cherry Day, which is why I mentioned cherries, and it's National Mojito Day. So the rum drinkers, and at Dada Restaurant, which you love so much, has.
I'm not a big fan of mojitos, though. I know
okay.
they go to great extremes to make them sometimes, and guys crushing leaves and all that. But I could pass on a mojito.
So we'll get to all those food topics later. We'll get to Hank tribute later. But right now, getting back to Roy Slanoff, his thing was, how I always bet the 4-horse in the 7th race?
Yes.
That's like my little stupid thing that I do at every racetrack. And it came in yesterday, by the way, I think at Laurel. I think it was a 9-1 shot. So
now, are you betting this at 7 different racetracks?
Yeah, well, the thing is, I only do it at like 5. So all you got to do is hit 1 out of 5 and get a 5-1 shot. But,
there you go.
It worked a little bit yesterday. Not great.
Yeah.
But Roy Slanoff's thing was always in the last race of the day, just box the 2, 3, 7, 8 in exactas and trifectas. And back in the day, before there was 50-cent tries, it used to cost $36. It would be a $12 exacta box and a $24 try box if you had $36 left. Now, because the minimum increment of trifectas is 50 cents, it only costs $12. But yesterday, I didn't even do that. I scoped out and did some actual handicapping. I liked the 8-horse in the last race at Belmont. It was a Broccoli tag horse.
Dylan Davis.
Dylan Davis, who fell just shy of a riding title. They were going neck and neck, him and Erod Ortiz, and Ortiz locked it up. He had a 2-win advantage going into that last race. But Dylan, I said, you know what? I just liked that horse. So I didn't do a box. I just keyed.
Wow.
The 8 over the 2, 3, 7. And again, I just heard Roy's voice. I saw that the 3-horse was 71-1. Oh, 75.
I heard Roy's voice, and he was screaming from heaven, "You didn't box it!" Unbelievable.
Well, it all worked out because it was only a $3 bet. I ended up putting like a couple of other. I put 20 into the race because I liked the 8-horse. I did some exactas with some logical horses, but there's no room for logic in horse racing, especially when you're seeing into the great beyond and honoring people who used to work at racetracks. And sure enough, the 8 comes in. And then it was the 7 was like 6-1 comes second. And then the 3 came third at 75-1.
Wow.
And for your little $3 bet, I got back $829, and
Nice job.
it
Nice
got
job
me
there.
out and then some for the weekend. And then I open up my email this morning and I see my FPL bill for the last month, and it's like, bye winnings.
Yeah, exactly.
Really? How much are you paying for
No.
electricity at the Mayo Mansion there?
Well, I mean, it was
You may have to unplug the microwave and stop eating that Skyline chili.
They've raised their rates, and it was like for the month, and it was a hot month, and we keep it at 75, 76, the thermostat. My mom
That's
doesn't
not
like it too
exorbitant.
cold.
Yeah, that's
No,
all right.
but $338 was
Oh,
the
all right.
electric bill.
Not the
which-
worst I've seen.
No, but it's it's
There's-
a smaller
I'll be
home,
there.
but it's an older home, and I got a pool pump that's going now about 12
Ah,
hours
cool.
a day. You got to keep
All
the
right.
algae out of the pool. But you know what? I'm happy I got out, and
You
the
made
best-
money.
The best part is, it's in my the online account. You get to pull out the money, but you can't pull out all the money because they hold the one that you initially deposited for like 3 days. But now that's my little bankroll, like, because I put in 200 at the beginning of the
Set for
weekend.
Saratoga. Sure.
And I got my 200. I pulled out my other, profits. I got my 200 sitting there for the beginning of Saratoga, and I'm just, chomping at the bit, ready to go. So that was good. That was a good way to end the weekend. It got me.
Got a
back.
food question. People
Yes.
are always asking, what are the great restaurants to eat at Saratoga? Now, I've been there once. There's that little street in the town where there seem to be a lot of good places. I know our good friend, the Marty girl, was working at one of the popular spots there for many, many years. But where do you go to dine when you go to Saratoga, Mike Mayo, as the gambling gourmet? You're not just a regular schmank that went to the track. I mean, you're the gambling gourmet. You have to go to the good spots. So, where do you go?
Well, you put me on the spot because it's like I would have done some preparation and Googling.
Oh, okay. I
because
thought you
my-
had like a spot that you just
No,
right off
I
the
mean,
top of your
the
head.
spot everybody goes to, Ciro's.
What's the famous
but I
one?
guess
Yeah, Ciro's. Yeah.
Ciro's is the famous one that,
And they were bought by the guys that played in Entourage, right?
I
for a
don't
while.
even know. I don't
Yeah,
know who's running it
Ciro's
now.
was
I've heard
purchased
things
by the
about,
cast of Entourage.
it charges a lot of money. It's got the cachet. I went to a place last year that was really old school and good, like Italian place that was right across from the harness track there.
Okay.
And on the break, I'll look up the name of it, but
All right.
it was a decent place, and I went with a nice crew, and including, I think, Fran LaBelle, who used to, again, work at the Sun Sentinel, and he lives a full-time resident of Saratoga now. His father.
Oh, now
was a
do you
very
stay with him? Do you
famous-
poach a room? Is that
No,
how
no,
you do it?
no. Last year, me and a buddy, we spent one night in Albany because we couldn't get a room in Saratoga. I used my Marriott points, and then the next night we stayed at the Embassy Suites in Saratoga,
All
and
right.
he used his points. So we did the.
Well, he had a lot more
frequent
pull
flyer
than you
special.
did. Obviously, I mean, Albany's like an hour and a half away, isn't it?
No, it's only 35 minutes right down the north way. So,
All
but
right,
yeah,
you ready
for
to go
those,
to the track? Yeah, it's only 8:00. I know, but we got to get there. Come on.
and actually, we went to other good places that was a little bit on the outskirts, like maybe a 10-minute drive up in some other little village, just like north or west of Saratoga. And of course, my memory is about as good as yours at this point, Defo. So I'm shocked.
I'm
a
not sure
shocked
it's
fighter.
even that good, based on the fact you couldn't name one place in Saratoga off the top of your head. And you go there all the time. I've only been there once.
No.
What I like about certain things, though, in racing, and this used to be part of the scene, and it was part of the scene at Gulfstream, where everybody would go to certain places after the races were over, and you stayed for the entire card. It wasn't as scattered. And Saratoga still has that, where and I experienced that a little bit at Del Mar, where the whole racing crowd was at a handful of different places, and you wanted to get in. So it's kind of a nice scene there, because after you go to the track, people are still talking about the races and then already looking at the form for the next day while they're eating dinner, which is kind of a fun aspect of going to the races and going day after day to one of these boutique meets.
Yeah.
Somebody zones out.
I'm not zoning out. I'm just trying to type in something because I'm trying to get the streaming going on the Best of Delaware Beach community chat group.
Get that
man,
going,
it's
Mike.
me.
Come on.
Well, again, it's like you throw it to me. Do you look and see that the microphone is down and that?
Devo's great.
Oh
He's
man,
done. He's done.
No, I
he's
figure you're hanging with it, man. It's your show, but I figure you're hanging with the side guys.
Well, I thought you were going to tell me about all the Atlantic City hijinks.
Well, I have stories, but you got into this thing with the trifecta, which is fine, and
Right.
congrats.
And then you send me
I was
down
excited
the
for you.
Union Avenue into Saratoga, which I was not
Well,
prepared.
we
to
were
talk
talking about
tonight.
Toga, and then we
You
got
see,
a
we
food
have-
show.
we
I
have
just
this-
happened to see this. I don't know if it's on Let's Eat South Florida, but
Patty B's is the fried chicken stand in
There you go.
Saratoga. That's always good, and then the other places that you go up and down that main drag there.
That main drag, you can't help but find a couple of good
They,
spots.
they've really
That's my
redone it, and
recollection.
there's like
Yeah.
new there's some fancy new steakhouse up there that's in one of these new boutique hotels. If anybody's going up there, you can't miss, because it's just again, all the history and the. Although, have you ever sampled some of that fountain water, the actual, the spa, the springs, and I think they have it at the track where you could drink it, and the healing powers. I don't know if it's a Ponce
The
de
track, I was
Leon.
mostly drinking booze, but I wasn't really that interested in the water. They have a couple of places there, right? Right? Isn't there a big hot dog thing there? Speaking of hot dogs, we were talking
You and
July
your
4th
hot
about the
dogs.
dogs. No, but I
I
think they have a famous hot dog stand there, do they not? Or am I mistaken
at
about
the
that?
track, at
Or
the
a
track.
sandwich place? There's a place right there at the track that everybody lines up. The line's like 100 deep. It's great.
There was a big, they again, every day is such a big crowd there that all the food stands get a big thing. And
Yeah.
again, you make it like I'm there all the time. I used to go all the time.
Well, I've
and
only been there for
listen,
one day. I mean, I
yeah,
was there one day and I was gone like that
last
afternoon.
last year was my first trip back in almost 20, probably like 23 years. I think I hadn't been there since like 99 or the year 2000.
Wow.
And then last year was my first time back, and it was just a 1 day thing. I'm sorry, maybe it was 2 days. It was Saturday and Sunday. So it was nice to get back there. And I didn't commit to memory all the eating, because believe it or not, even though I am a big eater, I was there to do to bet,
To
not
plunge.
eat.
All right.
Yeah, to
Well,
plunge
that's
my
fair.
guts out. But let's talk about you and this supposed royal flush that you hit again at the machine. Me and
I told Lubie
Lubie-
this morning. What is the point? Everybody knows that you lose routinely when you gamble. So why would I send out an old picture? That's like, see, I don't know if you ever like fished, and you're with a friend and he turns his back and you caught one. Like we used to catch carp in the lake, and the guy would turn around and you'd reel in like a carp, and then you cast it out again, as if you had just caught another one. And the guy would go, "What? You got another one?" And it was the same fish. But no, I wouldn't do that with royal flush. I mean, those are fresh every single time. I happened to catch a few of them this year, and that one came at a time where I was already starting to question my own mental derangement, because I was stuck a few hundred early on my birthday, and I thought, well, this is a crappy way to celebrate hitting 71. And sure enough, I actually, when I punched up, I was dealt the hand. And when I punched it up, I actually thought that I just had a flush, which is worth like 25 coins. And it turned out, I go, wow, that's a stinking royal flush, and that's worth 4,000 coins, which
right, that's
were quarters. So
$1,000.
I was up like several hundred right away.
Wait, no,
the first
4,000 quarters. Correct me if I'm wrong. That's
It's a dime.
$1,000. That's a
Yeah,
dime.
yeah.
That's a full.
Man, yes.
And this is gambling speak for all those quarters equals one dime.
One
One
dime.
dime equals $1,000. So,
$1,000 is a nice hit on a little machine.
It's
there
great.
where
It's a
you're
great
investing like
But
I only
I-
play like $40 at a time if I'm
I had
playing.
to do some forensic analysis of the photograph, and it was you got it dealt. So I saw that it was like
Yeah.
it hit stick, which means you dealt.
Right.
You got it dealt.
Dealt,
Now
yes.
I don't want to make any accusations, but one time you sent a couple of like these scores, and it looked like
That's the
same
second time I've
exact
had a
photos.
dealt hearts.
No, but this one
Royal
looked
flush.
fresh. This one
Yeah.
looked legit.
No, it
I'm
was. I
saying
mean,
the
why would I lie
previous-
about it?
The
There's no reason to
previous
lie.
one looked like the same exact photo, even the shape of the image, the crop of where the machine was. It looked like the exact same. And I don't want to, because like you say, why would you lie about it?
Well, what
You're
would be
only
the
lying
point?
to
I
yourself.
mean, most of the hands are like nothing. You ended up getting destroyed. So,
Right. So
no, but
well,
it's such a beautiful sight when it comes up on a machine. Any kind of jackpot. I'm not a machine player. That's really the only kind of slot machine / machine games that I play. I never play it at the bar, because you never win at the bar. And that was a nice little hit. I cashed another couple of times, so the rest of my play I maybe lost like 100 or so back on video poker. But and there was no horse action whatsoever at the Borgata. Only really crappy tracks, because everybody raced on Monday. I got there Tuesday. I did hit the over 10 and a hook. Number of people lined up for wheelchair assistance to get on the flight. The Alta
I thought
Conquer.
you want some fancy charter plane. What are you talking about?
The flight was great, except for the fact it was freezing, but it really is a great way to go. You avoid all the anxiety of airport travel,
Right. So
And
it's a
they just
charter,
guide you right through. Yeah,
but
they
it's all
charter
these schnorrers and schleppers with
out of
wheelchairs
Palm
and
Beach. Think
walkers.
about that. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean,
Okay.
we brought down the median age by several years, me included. Even I helped bring down the dynamic there of the median age, while Mustang, of course, slaughtered the Mendoza line on that. But no, it's a lot of older people that go on this trip.
Well, I'm glad that you had a good getaway and vacation.
Oh, it's great. I love it there.
And
Yeah.
yeah, no, and
I had a weird incident at the Gordon Ramsay Steakhouse, though.
yeah,
Too.
we'll talk food after. I want to get into Lauderdale. You know, we're talking about
Yeah.
sure things and gambling, and there is no losing when you go onto the web for Lauderdale's.
How was Lubie at
because-
the ice cream parlor, by the way? Did he behave himself?
Yeah, he he was good. He was
Jackson's
good.
all right.
There
I was good
some
until he
stuff
got
on
off
there.
here, and then I went crazy.
They brought out the foot-long hot dog, right? And it's like right
Oh,
on
yeah?
screen, and he's presenting it. He's doing it well, but then and then he couldn't help himself. He just starts like cutting it right on, like he jumps in right in front of Nicky and starts like cutting the dog.
He
It
used
was
to
beautiful.
rearrange everything, like if he got a hot dog. He would take it off the
He couldn't
pan and
wait.
rearrange everything like he was
He couldn't
Rafael
wait. He
Nadal
just-
with the water
he's-
bottles.
He sawed off about 3 inches of this foot-long dog and just but he got in the middle of the shot, and I love it. I mean, it's
Yeah.
great. It's this gritty realism that makes the Lunchbox. You know, this is not for the faint of heart.
No, it's not pretty,
and-
this show.
And then he was nice enough to cut me off a little bit
That
of
was
a
for
chunk of
you.
the hot
I was
dog.
cutting it for you.
He was cutting it for me. Could have waited.
All right.
I
That's right,
should have
but-
waited. Yeah,
But
exactly.
Necky had a blast because she came in there. She was
Everything.
trapped in some meetings. She got in there a little bit on the later side, but she got in there. and
She didn't
said
go to
she
the
was-
wrong location. He only
No,
had
no,
one.
no, no. There's only one and only Jackson's, and she got in there and she was starving. And so they brought out this. It was Strawberry Sundae day, and they brought out this goblet with a strawberry sundae. And she dived in. She really enjoyed that. So it was great. Always have a great time with the Visit Lauderdale crew. And this week we're going to be going to a place. This is going to be a little racy place called the Bang Shack in
Nice.
Hollywood.
Okay.
But it's
Bang
actually
Me Shack?
no, Bang Shack is
Bang
actually
Shack.
it's Bang, and it's a place in Hollywood. It's really kind of cool. It has he created this chicken like dip, and he puts it on all his different dishes. And his guy is Jason. He actually was on Shark Tank at one point. He pitched the product on Shark Tank. He's a very engaging guy, and we'll be going down to Hollywood this week. But again, Lauderdale's is a sure thing because you can enjoy the good life for less in Greater Fort Lauderdale with Lauderdale's, and it's great deals on dining, hotels, attractions, spas, and so much more all summer long. And so start planning your summer getaway or staycation online at visitlauderdale.com/deals and see all the ways you can save. You can find great hotel deals at luxury beach resorts and family-friendly suite hotels, indulge in food and drink specials at all the great local restaurants and bars, and shop Lauderdale's for exciting attractions like Flamingo Gardens and Butterfly World. Plus, if you're a Florida resident, a first responder, or in the military, you'll find even more deals just for you. From miles of golden beaches to pampering at celebrated hotels and spas, the good life awaits in Greater Fort Lauderdale. So shop Lauderdale's now at visitlauderdale.com/deals and plan your best summer ever.
All right, sounds good. Tonight, 8 p.m., 1470 AM, 95.3 FM, and 96.9 FM. And again on South Florida Live. Mike Mayo's Lunchbox continues at Gordon Ramsay. I know he was not there at the Gordon Ramsay Steak in Atlantic City when we ate there on my birthday. And had he been there, he would have fired a steak against the wall that came out to be served to me, and maybe even fired the chef, which, would have been kind of a snap judgment there, but nonetheless, kind of weird to have that experience at Gordon Ramsay Steak.
And if Trump was there, he would have fired the ketchup at the wall too. It would have been
would have been a
total
bloody mess.
mosaic. Would have looked
for
like
sure.
a Jackson Pollock painting. It would have been something.
All right, more coming up on the Lunchbox in a moment.
Hey, it's Mike Mayo here for my friends at Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop, 2500 Griffin Road, just west of 95, in Dania and Fort Lauderdale. They've been there a long time, over 70 years, the Studiali family. They know how to take care of you. They have steaks, seafood, and so much more. It's old school hospitality and a relaxed, nice setting. They have the bar. They have Monday, Tuesday half-price wine night. They have all kinds of great specials. And they also have a butcher shop now that you could Buy your meats anytime, 10 a.m. to 10 p.m., Monday through Saturday. Throw it on the grill at home. They're great cuts of meat like the filet mignon, 10-ounce barrel cut, all kinds of goodies there. And, of course, the dining room, it can't be beat. They have the early bird special every day at 4:30 to 5:30. They're open daily except Sunday until 10 p.m., Monday through Saturday. Go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and tell them Mayo and Defo sent you. Do you like pizza? I mean, who doesn't like pizza? Well, my spot for pizza is the Pizza Spot. It's at 601 Southwest 12th Avenue in Fort Lauderdale. A little bit hard to find in that Riverside Park neighborhood, but totally easy to love. They've got Connecticut New Haven style of pizza in a wood-fired brick oven. It's run by a team of Wade and Reese. They opened about a year ago. It's a great place. Great pizzas, subs like chicken parms, meatball appetizers, salads, very relaxed setting, casual, outdoors, all outdoors, picnic tables. You won't even feel like you're in Fort Lauderdale. Go there. They have pickup, takeout. Call 754-779-7788. That's 754-779-7788. Pizza Spot. They're open Tuesday through Sunday for lunch and dinner, closed on Mondays. Tell them that Mike Mayo and Defo sent you.
And we're back on the Lunchbox. Mike Mayo, Jeff Defo DeForest, Mike Lubie Lubitz, and I failed miserably in my attempt to find the place across from the Saratoga harness track, which is now called a casino or something like that. It's an old school joint that has Italian food, and I had a good time the last year there. But I did find a bunch of restaurants in Saratoga, California.
Oh, nice.
There you go.
Where's that?
Which is yeah, I don't know. That's the probably
Sounds
the
northern.
wine-
It sounds north of.
Yeah,
anything
no, that's
that I'm familiar with.
Calistoga. I'm thinking
Yeah.
of Calistoga, Saratoga. I don't know what's going on. And
All right.
at least I'm not the only one struggling, because our man Dick Steen, Best of Delray app, downloaded today on the App Store and Google Play at Best of Local, Best of Delray Beach. You could find all the restaurants, and then you'll even remember the names. You could hit that favorites tab, and that makes it very easy to find all your favorites. And Delray Beach is just hopping. But Dick Steen says there's a great steakhouse that is open only during the season in Saratoga. They have all these professional waitstaff from Florida, ... I forgot the name.
There you go.
So
Thanks,
join the club. I don't know if that was Ciro's. I don't know if he was referring to Ciro's. That's CIRO. That's, again, the most famous place. It's like the Joe's Stone Crab of Saratoga Springs, New York. Again, the racing season there commences on Thursday. I don't know. Early trip out to your favorite parimutuel.
Ooh,
for opening
that's
day?
very tempting. Yeah. I had some success. Like I said, Atlantic City still had a few sticks left. When I got back home, in fact, a little bit more than my original bankroll, which was good because I did spend some cash. And I had an incident. I left a girl a $100 tip there at Gordon Ramsey. I was on a casino comp, or I would never eat at one of these places because
Right.
casino restaurants, not in all
Some of them are
situations.
good.
They're usually, they're good. No, the restaurant itself is great. I happen to have like an unfortunate mishap there, but I mean, the prices are exorbitant if you were paying. I mentioned this. Did I mention the bisque? This is right out of Seinfeld.
Not on this show. I
Not
heard
here,
it this
not here.
morning. Yeah, but go ahead. Go
Okay,
ahead.
well, the Mustang is a big bisque fan, lobster
Give me your
bisque.
bisque bitch.
Well, I mean, this was, almost, criminal. I thought, although I'm not sure where you stand on this because your standards are a little bit different than mine. But anyway, if I'm eating a freebie, and okay, so we had like a $250 comp, which is more than enough for two people to get a bottle of wine and a meal there at Gordon Ramsay's, but not much more. Okay, so now you're thinking,
right on the
okay,
edge. You gotta-
yeah, it's going to probably cost you the two and a hook. You might even have to dig into your pocket for a couple of bucks, which is fine. And then, naturally, I'm going to tip very generously if I'm eating for free, no matter what. So anyway, I see this lobster bisque is $23.95 on the menu. $23.95 for lobster bisque. Now, in correlation with some of the other things on the menu, sides like a baked potato, or they had like a loaded baked potato, or they have that potato. What is it, puree or whatever they call that? What is that?
like a double stuffed potato. or
No,
something
no,
like
not that. That
Where
would
it's
have
like
been a lot
boost,
better.
like they
That's
mash
less
it up and
Yeah,
they
yeah.
squeeze
it's like,
it
what
out
is
with
this?
the.
Come on, Gordon. You can't just mash some potatoes and chop some onions in there or something. But anyway, 23 and change, like $23.95 lobster bisque. Okay, so they bring a giant bowl out, and you're thinking, wow, this is going to be great. And then they bring out this little tiny silver creamer.
Right.
Not like you would get in a cafeteria or something where there was a lot of cream in there. Just there was like enough if you were in a fancy restaurant and you got an individual cup of coffee and they brought you the creamer. It was this size, like the size of a thimble, literally.
Right. A thimble. Yes.
And they they pour it into the bowl, and somehow the bowl, I don't know if you remember those old catcher's mitts that they were like straight, stiff as a board, and used to punch a pocket into them.
Yeah.
And they just had like a hole for the ball, big leather mitt. And that's what the bowl looked like. And it filled the little pocket in the bowl with this lobster bisque that didn't have a single shred of lobster in it. Now, I don't know what your feeling is
Now
about
wait.
that.
Okay, because a lot of times at these fancy places, what they
Yeah.
do is they present the little thimble and they pour it in dramatically.
Yes, that's
But
what they did.
usually
Over
the
lobster.
base, but usually the base of that catcher's mitt bowl has some actual chunks of lobster meat
There you
at
go.
the
Nothing.
bottom.
Not a bear.
So
Right out
they
of the
just
dick.
gave you a blank canvas with no lobster. It was the imaginary
Zero lobster.
You have to use your
$23.95.
imagination, and it's a very creative dish because you have to use your imagination
Yeah.
to conjure up
there
the
was
lobster.
some kind
And
of thing there in there, but it wasn't anything to do with lobster, and it was very tasty. I have to admit.
biscuit
But I mean, there were
itself,
2 spoonfuls of this stuff for $24. I mean,
biscuit
Gordon Ramsay, who are you
itself-
kidding?
the biscuit itself had wonderful lobster essence. I'm sure they crushed the heads and bodies. Of
There wasn't a
several.
sign of any lobsters, no crustaceans even in the building. I
Well,
don't think.
it was in the bisque, but in terms of chunk, and again, I had this experience. Now, here's a question for you.
Well,
a
would you pay in
philosophical
a place
question.
if they try to pull this off, though? I mean, come on.
I would have just
you can
said
go
it.
to a place and get a lobster bisque for what?
No,
Under
I would've-
$10? A lot of
Yeah, it
places,
was
and it's
$8
great.
bucks.
I would have just asked them. I said, "Is that lobster bisque supposed to have any actual lobster chunk in it?" Because mine seemed to be a little bit lacking. And then
Yeah.
most would say, "Oh, I'm so sorry, sir. We're supposed to have that." And they would usually bring you like 2 big thimblefuls of pure lobster meat
Yeah.
that you could then do it. But
Nothing. Zero.
but my question is this: would you rather have the lobsterless lobster bisque, or would you rather get lobster bisque that has chunks of lobster that were completely flavorless, and you knew it just come frozen out of some cryovac package? Because this was my experience at a place in Fort Lauderdale that's getting all this good buzz, this Eddie
Yeah.
V's in Fort Lauderdale. I think
you
I
were
mentioned it.
down on their lobster.
Well,
bisque.
again, because the lobster bisque there, not 20 whatever 95, it was probably like a $14 dish or something
All
like
right,
that.
that's more
And
tolerable.
they did serve it, with they poured it out, but it was over this lobster meat. But the lobster meat, when I tasted it, it's just like you could tell it's what the Yiddish word is schwach, very tired. It's a very
Be
schwach.
careful with
It's
that
just-
one. Yeah, I don't know.
No,
if
no,
we
no,
use
no,
that
no.
on the
Schwach.
various
It
platforms.
just means
The other one, yeah.
Schwach.
it means tired and listless and dull, like
Oh,
me
yeah.
most days. But and it just didn't taste like anything, and they could have
Yeah.
just used the rubberized that fake crab meat or something like that. And again, because it's coming in, they're not boiling and steaming off fresh lobsters where you get the sweet meat like our friends at Tropical Acres, which will bring us
Well,
right
think about
into
this.
our
You
second-
could have had 2 lobsters for $35.
you go.
Exactly.
And this was
This is a
24.
professional
and,
now. Now we've got the
essentially, I mean,
flow going.
I
Yeah,
couldn't help but
that's-
think about Jack Studiali versus Gordon
Yes.
Ramsay. It's no contest, my friend.
No,
No
and,
contest.
you gave me the beautiful segue. Let's talk about Tropical Acres.
Oh,
Steakhouse.
let me just quickly get to the steak
Yeah.
here because
okay. Okay,
because
yeah.
that was really the issue. All right,
And we can
it's Gordon
contrast-
Ramsay steak.
Yes.
All right, so now, and we've talked about this. I would order my steaks rare throughout my lifetime, and then rare got to be so rare
Yeah, medium
that
rare.
it was okay, because they were afraid
Medium
to
rare.
overcook rare, and and I don't really like it fully medium rare. So, you would mention this whole rare plus concept, okay? Which I consider rare plus to be not quite raw, but not into the medium rare category because you don't want them to overcook it.
Yeah.
All right, so I get this steak and it was huge. I mean, it was a $90 bone-in ribeye,
Mhm.
huge. And I take the first bite and I was kind of off the edge, and I noticed it was sort of like well done at that stage. And I thought, well, maybe that's just the edge here. And I cut into the middle of it, and it's all the way through. I mean, I thought I got somebody else's steak that had ordered it medium well. It was medium well at the very least. All right,
Oh,
this
Jesus.
is supposed to be rare plus.
They call that
No.
hammered.
Well, I mean,
hammered.
so
And
I'm
not
not.
Hank Goldberg, but it was just that the steak was hammered. It just like they just didn't get it off the grill. I don't
What
know.
wasn't
Somebody
wasn't
fell
even
asleep.
close. I mean, to what I was looking for, it wasn't medium rare. I would have accepted that. It wasn't even medium. It was literally closer to well done. Something my mother would have ordered. May she rest in peace.
Yeah.
Which we always thought, Ma, how could you possibly ask for a steak well done? I mean, it's the kind of stuff that gets you thrown out of a place like that,
Yep.
right? So. I just looked at it and said, this is a $90 steak, even though I'm not paying for it. I really want to enjoy it. I don't enjoy it this way. So I called the server over, the waitress. She was very nice. And she asked me, well, take another slice out of the middle there. Let me see that thing. And I thought, well, I mean, there's no question. I understand rare versus medium well. And so she took it back, and then it took them forever. By the time I got the second steak, which was then undercooked, but I was ready to accept that. The chef came out. They were very apologetic. They actually took it off the check, which didn't matter to me. But by the time the second steak came out, it was it. I wasn't even hungry anymore. It took a
No,
long time to cook. And,
that's a turn.
for a Gordon Ramsay steakhouse, I mean, I would consider that somewhat of a disaster, no? I mean, should they not be on their game? Anybody could overcook a steak maybe a little bit, or the person sends it back. But literally, it took almost 45 minutes for the second steak to come out after
jeez.
I'd been served the first
Well,
one.
let
and
me
sent
ask
back.
you this: was this on a Saturday night or what?
No,
what
it was on a Tuesday night.
in that case,
Yeah.
that's
Tuesday.
inexcusable.
The
It's
place
like
was
nobody-
busy. The place
it
was
was busy,
busy.
okay.
It wasn't like it was empty, because I would imagine a lot
No,
of
no,
people were
look,
doing the same
these
thing
things
as me.
happen, and
Yeah.
usually when the first one gets screwed up, then worse things. It's
It's
like the
great.
spiraling
The
train.
second one never is good.
And then it's like you should. Well, again, at least they didn't charge you, but then it was a comp anyway, so that's like a whole big nothing. Maybe
Yeah, I
you
mean,
should
I
have just
couldn't really
gone.
complain that much, but
Maybe you should have gone for the fish. I don't know. It's like
no, but
once
I
you
mean,
get
that would have
the
been
steak-
that would have been against your credo, which is
Both rules.
why
No,
would you
give
go
it
to
a
Gordon
chance.
Ramsay steak to order the fish?
No, that's true.
It doesn't make
It's
any
Gordon
sense.
Ramsay steak, and you should just
And the steak was brilliant. I mean, had it been cooked right the first time, or even the second time, it was a beautiful, cut of steak. There's no question about
would have
that.
been brilliant, except for the fact that they totally messed
Well,
up.
I mean, people don't get rare plus. I mean, it's a danger zone, Mike Mayo. I mean, this is something that
Some
requires
places just
your
say we don't.
advice.
Some places say we don't do the plus thing. You got to pick a side, either pick rare or medium rare. In
All
which
right.
case, you would probably go with medium rare. But I don't know how rare plus gets turned into medium well. and
Medium well.
that's
No,
just-
this was thoroughly cooked through.
That's a bad computer
yeah.
system.
Uh,
Hey, you know.
Unfortunate.
So speaking of being satisfied with your steaks, Tropical Acres Steakhouse and
I
Butcher
wish I
Shop.
had been there. Yeah, I wish I had been there.
Tonight is Monday. It's half price wine night. It's also my brother's anniversary. 7-Eleven, the lucky couple, are going to be going into Tropical Acres tonight. They're going to be
nice.
Dining and getting.
Are
a
you
little
accompanying
half-price
them,
wine.
or is it a
No,
little
I've got to go up to
sentimental,
Delaware. I've just
intimate
sent them
dinner?
my good wishes, and I gave them my little punch card that has, where you get for every 12 entrees, you get one freebie. And
Now, are you trying to get those freebies for yourself?
no,
Because they get two
that's
punches.
for them. That's for them. And again, because
okay.
I have a couple of cards that.
Oh, you have a few
you
full
know,
ones.
Yeah, like I had. So I give away the full ones because I don't like to use
Oh,
it
nice.
when I'm
Okay.
there. I like to, I present a certain image of. I don't need to be a schnorrer. I love. Again, the prices there are so reasonable.
Yet you're
But it's-
kind of bordering on being a Lubie when it comes to schnorring
Thanks
lately.
for giving
which is
away
great.
the free.
Ever since
I've
you got
been-
into this radio business and
Hanging out with you
streaming.
guys in this
Yeah.
business for too long. But Tropical Acres Steakhouse Butcher Shop tonight, half price wine. Tuesday, half price wine. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of the 95 and the airport. It's a South Florida institution. It's older than Defo. 1949 is when they started, and they will take great care of you. It's over 72 years now, 73 going on. I
What
can't
does
even
that do?
believe the
73,
math.
yeah.
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
73. And the Studio Alley family, they'll treat you like long lost family, whether it's first time or a 400th time. They know how to get things done. And of course, you already mentioned the Twin Lobster specials, $35 for two freshly steamed main whole lobsters that you can tell the difference when it comes out freshly steamed as opposed to out of a cryovac bag like at some major fancy pants steakhouses and
Oh.
casinos. And again, you get that sweet meat, $35, including a salad inside. That's part of what makes Tropical Acres such a good value. All their entrees, the steaks, the prime rib, the rack of lamb comes with a salad and a side dish. They also have happy hour in the bar for the first couple of hours, 4:30 to 6:30, and the early bird, 4:30 to 5:30 in the dining room, and the butcher shop to bring home steaks to throw on the grill at home. That's, again, open every day except Sunday. go into Tropical Acres. Tell them the Lunchbox Mayo Defo sent you.
It's always warm and welcome there, the feeling that you get when you walk into Tropical Acres, no matter what time of the day it is, no matter what kind of schnorr you are. I mean, they just welcome you with open arms. It's fantastic, and that's why they've been around for so long. All right, we're coming back with more on Mike Mayo's Lunchbox here in a moment.
Do you like really good seafood, but maybe not in a fancy place? Even Keel Fish Shack. That's the place for you. I know it's the place for me, too. It's at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea. It is a place for elevated food in a casual beachfront setting. They have good drinks. They got a great vibe. The chef owners, Brad and Dave, they come from a fine dining background. They had the original Even Keel Fish in Fort Lauderdale, but they moved over to this place in the last year. It is perfect. They're open every day for lunch and dinner. They also have brunch Friday through Sunday at noon. They have drink specials every day. They have happy hour 4 to 7, Monday through Friday. Some of the greatest deals around. You get the grilled oysters, 4 of them for $5. You can't beat that. All their food, the grilled octopus, the bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls. They have fish specials. They also have burgers and hot chicken sandwiches for the landlubbers out there. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack. Tell them Mayo and Defo sent you.
If you're looking for an honest place with great food and tremendous value, Costas Greek Eatery and Pizzeria is the place for you. It's in Pompano Beach at 1940 Northeast 49th Street. It's just west of Federal Highway, just north of Sample Road, and it has not become my spot for Greek specialties like gyros, souvlaki, spinach pies, and pastitsio, that's the Greek lasagna, and also thin, crisp New York-style Greek pizza. You got to go try some of their specialty pies like the gorgonzola and spinach. Oh, it's worth a special trip. Costa is a great guy. He has Queens, New York roots, but he's been in business in Broward for a long time. He's a great guy. He'll throw a plate, say Opa, and greet and treat you like long-lost relative. Costa's is open every day for lunch and dinner. They're on all the major delivery apps. You can also dine in or take out. Go to Costa's Greek Eatery and Pizza, where everyone is family. Hey, it's Mike Mayo for my friends at Visit Lauderdale. This summer, enjoy the good life for less in Greater Fort Lauderdale with Lauder Deals. Great deals on dining, hotels, attractions, spas, and more, all summer long. Start planning your summer getaway online at visitlauderdale.com/deals and see all the ways you can save. From miles of golden beaches to food and drink specials to pampering at celebrated resorts, your dream summer vacation awaits. Shop Lauder Deals now at visitlauderdale.com/deals. And we're back on the Lunchbox on a Monday. It's Mayo with Defo and Lubie, and we've been talking a lot of gambling and poker and horses and Saratoga. It's time to get onto some local food because today is National Mojito Day, and you said you don't like mojito. Of course, mojito is the classic rum drink of Cuba, where the proper way to make it is where you muddle your mint leaves and sugar.
They really get into it, yeah.
A little bit of water, and you muddle it all up with a little splash of water over ice, and then you pour in your rum. And it's a very refreshing summer drink. And today, I don't know why July 11th is Mojito Day, but that's what the silly Ministry of Food Days say it is. So a couple of spots that you can find them in the area is your place in Delray Beach. Dada has an extensive mojito.
They really get into making them there too. I watched them a few times.
They go, not just the classic,
Are you okay with them now, by the way? Because you had this, you had like an ugly experience, and
I'm
then
okay with
they
that. Look,
they more than made amends. I mean, that doesn't that give you the feeling to go
no,
back?
they have very good management. They have
Yeah,
very good people
yeah.
skills. The place is lovely. It's a great setting. I'd go there for cocktails and maybe
Yeah.
those dates, a light
Dates.
fight. The bacon wrap dates.
Okay.
Because and I go for the mojitos. They have a full menu and they have different flavors, varieties. Eddie's
A
along
couple
with the class point.
appetizers, some
So
mojitos. Maybe that's the
that's
way to
in
go.
Delray
Yeah.
Beach for the people on the Best of Delray Beach community chat group. Go check out Dada for National Mojito Day. I think they were offering some kind of special today. I can't exactly remember the details because my mind is just completely like
Ever
Swiss
since you
cheese
hit
at
that
this point.
trifecta, you're not the
Nah, it's
same
been
anymore.
a lot of
You
things.
got bells
But
and whistles going on.
some places in Broward, there's a place called Cubanos by Mayo in Fort Lauderdale. It's on Federal Highway, just above the Big Bend, in between Sunrise and Oakland Park Boulevard. But
Right.
it used to be called something else, like Catalina. But Mario is this kind of real character, and but they make a really good mojito there. You'll go in there, and he's let's say he's very welcoming. And he'll, he definitely pushes the mojitos. And at the end, he tries to get you buy these gift certificates where if you spend 25, you get 50. And then next thing you know, he's selling you hundreds of dollars worth and you can never finish them.
Sounds
But
like Crazy Eddie's food.
it is. That place is a little bit insane.
Yeah.
But the mojitos there are very good. And then, of course, on Las Olas Boulevard, there's this newfangled place called Cuba Libre on Las Olas. And they also have an extensive mojito collection. That would be a good place to catch mojitos for Mojito Days. Gosh, I tell you what.
What
Defo,
distinguishes a good one from like an ordinary mojito, in your
I
opinion?
don't know. It's just
look
a
at you.
mojito.
What's that?
We got to move on because we're running out of time. I can't dwell on these things. There's a good mojito. It's a refreshing drink. It's a little bit sweet. It's got rum.
You don't like
It's
it. In
cold.
other words, you wouldn't order one on a
No,
bet.
no. I order them once in a blue moon when I feel like something different. But now it's national. Well, yesterday was National Pick Blueberries Day, so I got some blueberries in here along with today's National Rainier Cherry Days, and Rainier cherries are now on the shelves.
Those look like maraschino.
I
to
saw
me.
no, these are the white ones. They come from
Okay.
Washington State, and they're sweet and they're delicious. And I got these at Publix, and they were on sale there for $6.99 a pound. Not a great deal. Place up in Delray called the Boys Market, which we've made one of our best of the best. It's a great marketplace that's run by a couple of guys from New York, and they got everything from all these great cheeses and meats and things like that. But they had Rainier cherries on their produce aisles last week for $4.99 a pound.
Wow.
And
big
that's
savings.
a good deal. Now, do you like the Rainier cherries?
I was a huge fresh cherry, fan as a kid, and I used to eat pounds of them at a time. I'm sure, going back to when I was a kid, that you wouldn't see anything over $1 a pound on something like that. But no, I enjoy eating cherries. I think they're great. Now, Rainier cherries, I would imagine would be fine. I'm the big red Bing cherry guy.
No,
for the
these
most
are
part.
like
Those are the
the
best.
premier kinds of cherry. They're so sweet, even though they look a little lighter and they're not that dark ruby red.
Yeah.
They have the best flavor. And I'm going all Hank Goldberg on you now in tribute to
Oh,
Hank.
good.
which
Yeah, no,
we
in
need
tribute
do
to Hank,
that.
you should eat on the air.
Um,
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, you know what? Let's take our final break, and then we'll have a couple of parting words about Hank and your memories of him. But again, we got to put in the good word about Costas Greek Eatery and Pizzeria. I don't know if you've been there since you've been back home, but
This is a funny thing about Costas, Michael. Since you turned me on to the place, it's always calling my name. Like a lot
Nice.
of the other places we represent, but it's true. I happened to go by that area yesterday, and even though I wasn't hungry, I thought about stopping in at Costas because I want to try their falafel at Costas. I'm real curious about that.
Oh yeah, everything they got there, from their Greek specialties to the stuff that's in the pita, the falafels, and the gyros and all that stuff. It's great. Well, I thought we were going to be there doing our remote this week, but it turns out that Brad, one of the owners and managers, is away this week, and so
Do we
we're gonna
represent
make-
any restaurants that aren't owned by a guy named Brad? Oh yeah, Tropical Acres. Is there a Brad in a family?
and
I mean,
Pizza Spot is
Spot,
Wade,
yeah,
and that's the place that's always calling my name. I got to get in
All
there
right,
and see those
yeah.
guys. We love our pizzas.
I want to get back there. Yeah,
But Costas, again, we're going to be in there doing our remote show next week on Tuesday the 19th. I got to see if we get in with the other Brad at Even Keel, maybe go there this week, so we're not all
All right,
stacked up.
sounds
in a row.
good.
But Costas, 1940 Northeast 49th Street, Pompano Beach, just west of Federal Highway, about a mile north of Sample Road. Dine out, take out, delivery on all the major apps. Go to CostasGreekEateryPizzeria.com to look at the menu and to order for takeout and delivery. At Costas, everyone is family. And again, they've got the great New York style Greek pizzas, which is thin and crispy and just that nice little layer of the coating of oil on top. It makes it taste oh so good. They've got the gorgonzola spinach, and of course the Greek specialties like the lamb chop, spinach pie, pastizio, which is the Greek lasagna, moussaka. Go there, say hi to Costa. He'll welcome you. He'll throw a plate. He'll say opa. Bring your appetite and your family, and tell them that the Lunchbox sent you.
All right, great place to go, and looking forward to being there a week from tomorrow with the Lunchbox. Come on out and see us, and we'll come back and wrap up this edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox in a moment.
When people come to me and say, Mike, where's a great place for dinner? I got friends visiting from out of town. Where am I going to take them? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It is a Fort Lauderdale perennial. They serve the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly setting. Service there is impeccable. Joey Esposito and his better half, Sally, they've been running the place for more than 2 decades. It's been there since the 1980s. It has some great food. They just recently expanded. They have a great bar. You could sit there if you're by yourself. You go in there with a date or your better half, and you can have a nice, cozy table for 2. You can go in with a big group and have a great festive time. They have great sangria. They have paella. They have shrimp with garlic sauce. The stuffed veal chop, oh, that's my favorite. It's open Monday through Saturday at 5 p.m. for dinner. They are closed on Sundays, but please go to Cafe Seville. You won't be disappointed. Tell them Mayo and Defo sent you. Do you like wings? Do you like burgers? Do you like ribs? Do you like late night food? All this and more at Shenanigans. There's 2 locations. East side is at 1300 South Federal Highway in Dania Beach. And then there's the original in Hollywood, right across from TY Park on Sheridan Street. Pat Utter and his crew, they've been doing it a long time, almost 30 years, and they do a great job. It's a neighborhood place with a casual feel, really good food, good value. They have drink specials every day, beer, coldest on draft. Anytime that you want, the late night food, the kitchen is going until past midnight, both locations. They have outdoor dining if you need it too. Shenanigans is my place to go. You could also call up for pickup right through a drive-through window on the east side. That's at 954-923-3008, 954-923-3008 for your takeout pickup. Go to Shenanigans and tell them Mayo and Defo sent you.
And we're back again on the Lunchbox to wrap up a Monday show. It was a jam-packed edition, a lot on our plates because Defo we had to catch up with after his big Atlantic City trip, and he had a bad steak. I guess he should write to Gordon Ramsay and just like curse him out the way he curses out the people.
Oh, he would have fired his guy. The chef came out though to the table. He was very apologetic. He asked me to try the thing before he even left. And I looked at it. It's funny because now the second steak came out. It was a little too rare.
Oh, yeah.
And but I just this is great.
Yeah.
And it was fine. I mean, look,
you can't go for 3. It's like the
right.
second
I didn't
time
want to be a jerk.
done.
I mean, it was a freebie, like I said, but there's good dining there though, all over the place. And there's a place in the food court. I mentioned this before, and I wish there was one down here. It's called Chop and whatever, something, Toss, Chop and Toss. It's in a food court, and it's the freshest salads and wraps and things like that with vegetables. I mean, if you're looking for something healthy to add, chicken and salmon, you could add into these salads and other stuff. But wow, really, really good. I don't know if it's a chain or anything, but Chop and Toss.
I haven't heard it, but there's a lot of salad chains. Again, this time of year is people just want a nice light cold salad for lunch, and
it was terrific.
This place called Just Salads that's around down here that I know a lot of people like. So that's we could do that as a topic for another day.
Yeah,
we're gonna do our Hank tribute tomorrow. We're gonna do catching up with all my eating over the weekend. I got to tell you about.
I like that codfish you had at the Seville.
Cod at Seville was great, and then on Saturday we were going back and forth on the racing. His crew, he has his whole bunch of people. They kicked in to try to hit the pick 5. You got to hit the all button. There was a 30-to-1 shot that came in the middle. They had every other leg, and they used like 8 horses out of 12 in that race. They could have just used.
It's expensive,
No, but they could have narrowed down one other. Anyway, the bottom line is they missed out on like a $50,000 pick 5. And they were very, very close. They had 4 out of 5, and they just needed to hit the all button. But that's it. Such is the fate.
And he didn't show you the tickets and say, "Can you believe this? We left out the form."
He sent it to me before the races went off, and I was the one following along. But anyway, that's going to do it for today. We'll be back tomorrow talking more local local food and sports, and we'll give our tribute to the late Hank Goldberg. For this time, until next time, it's Mike Mayo for Jeff Defo DeForest and Mike Lubie Lubitz saying to enjoy every sandwich.